Good morning, everybody. Good morning, my fellow seniors. How's everybody doing this morning? It is almost 6:30 a.m. in Pelham Bay, and I wanted to jump on and make this little video. Having a little caffeine. As you can see how swollen my hand is compared to this hand. So I said in my earlier video that I have extensive AC osteoarthritis now, but they're not sure if that's what's causing the hand swelling, but that's neither here nor there. I hope everybody's doing well, and I just wanted to jump on here. I'm gonna be more structured by making cards where I can be focused, because sometimes I tend to jump around a little bit. First of all, let me begin by saying, please take advantage of the links that I have below. Those links are for various programs and services for you to get out, engage socially with other baby boomers, especially the Y and the senior pilot program. They have so many things there that it's fantastic. Like, I would love to go, but I'm not into programs and things like that. I'm more of a solo ager. I enjoy my time. I enjoy my space. I socialize when I'm in the mood. I spend a lot of time alone. But my favorite things to do is reading, journaling, writing. I love going speed walking in the park and running. I have an exercise bike. I love a lot of silence and meditation music in the background, and plus I also struggle with a lot of joint pain. I have arthritis in my hips, arthritis in my shoulders, arthritis in my elbows. So I deal with a lot of joint pain, but it doesn't stop me because I keep moving. So I want to tell you a little story about what happened yesterday. I went to Catholic Charities. I was trying to work on a project and to see if I could get my needs met through them. It was a long shot, but if you're out there and you're trying to get things done, it doesn't hurt to reach out to programs and case management services to find out if they could assist with something. But you always have to remember, policies are policies, and it doesn't guarantee success. That you will have those needs met. Certain needs like food pantry, Meals on Wheels, case management, medical, psychological linkage to services, they do provide, they do help that. But with some other things they can't, and that's just the policy of the program and budgeting issues. But my story doesn't have to do with that. My story goes like this. So I had an appointment with this case manager at Catholic Charities, right? So I went there on Monday, and on the 6th, I believe. It was raining. I have a bad foot. I have a bone growth in the back of my heel that hurts once in a while. And I had this problem when I was working. I just never took care of it because it would go away, and I'd go for like a year without it. And finally, it just flared up. It's a flare-up. So I went to the appointment, and it was a rainy day. I live in Pelham Bay. This place is all the way in the South Bronx, in 152nd Street and 3rd Avenue. So it's about an hour and a half to get there. So I get there early, about 9:15, 9:30, and I was told, she was sent to another site. I was really angry because, I was a care coordinator, and it doesn't hurt to call your clients or your potential clients and say, hey, I'm not going to be at that site. Sorry, there's a train. So, I'm really pissed off because, we retirees, we live in a fixed income, and, we just don't have money to throw around. So I was really pissed. I held my anger. I came back home. She did call and she did apologize. So I said, look, I want to make it simple. I have this question. I asked her, she says, I'll call you tomorrow and we'll discuss it. Great. So I waited all day Tuesday, which was the 7th. She never called. Backtrack a little bit. On Monday, we rescheduled it for Friday, July the 10th, 10 o'clock. So I said, okay. But she never called me on Tuesday so we could discuss it. Like, hello, where's the phone call, right? So Friday, I get up, take a shower, and I head on out. I left at 8 o'clock in the morning. I got there about 9:30. So she was in. So they call me upstairs and I sit with her. She says, the internet is out. I'm really sorry. There's only so much I can do. I was already pissed with that because I already knew we weren't getting nothing done. So I simply told her, look, I want to keep this simple. You know, like, I have a question and I want to know if this is possible, you know? So I asked her the question and she said, no, it's not really possible because of these conditions have to be met. I wasn't upset. Okay, I get it. You couldn't tell me this on Tuesday. I told her, you didn't call me on Tuesday. And she put her face down and she mumbled something I couldn't hear. You see, if she would have called me on Tuesday, I wouldn't have wasted $6 because it's $1.50 a ride. So that means you made me travel on Friday an hour and a half, pay tolls, get there, and our meeting lasted no more than a minute and 10 seconds, because she answered the question that she could have answered if she would have called me on Tuesday. So, you know, you find case managers that, you know, they come across as sweet and helpful, but they're not. It's just their personality because they have to address the public that way. But for me, that was a lack of professional respect to me. Now, mind you, I was a care coordinator. I worked with high-level clients for 25 years. I worked out of 4 boroughs, constantly making visits, getting on trains, making visits. Was I always perfect? No. But the one thing people knew me for was Lucian always returns a call, either that same day or the next day, and say, hey, I forgot to return the call yesterday. I'm calling today. I'm sorry about that. But they always knew that I returned a call and I responded to an email. That was my reputation. Why? Because you're working with professionals, you're working with people, and you want to give the utmost courtesy because there's a lot of need in the community. And even though sometimes policies can't always help with those needs, there are budget constraints, there are certain conditions that have to be met. And sometimes it was difficult. Clients got upset, but I had no control over Medicaid spending. The government does. And when you try to put it in that perspective, sometimes they would understand it. Sometimes they would just be really outright hostile. Well, you know, we're the delivery, we're the messengers, right? If you meet the conditions, we offer you the services. If you don't meet the conditions, you're not going to get services. You're not going to get that TV or the clothing that you need. It has to be based on a clinical need. But you should always be professional with your clients. You should always do your best to return a call. And as a client, as a senior citizen, you deserve that respect, and don't let anybody treat you any differently. You deserve that respect. And I left really angry, not so much that the answer was no. I get it, there are policies. She couldn't do it, and that's fine. Like, I wasn't expecting a miracle, but I'm a type of person that it's important for me to try, to make the call, to engage the program, to ask them questions. I'm never gonna back down. I'm never gonna stop being me, because I wanna know what I'm entitled to, what I'm deserving of as a person that worked for many years, as a person, as a retiree, as a senior citizen. What am I eligible for? And that's the question. What are you eligible for? You're not gonna know if you don't ask. And that's how I've always been. I've always asked questions. Sometimes people were annoyed with me because, like, Lucian, like, give it a rest. I'll give it a rest when I'm satisfied with the answer. But I'm not going to give it a rest if there's a way of getting a client's needs met. So I'm going to be the same way with myself, because we're entitled to services as senior citizens, as baby boomers. We're entitled. And as long as we meet those conditions for the entitlement, then there's not a problem. But if we don't, well, that's it. We don't. And that's okay too. And no matter how much we feel that we are entitled, always remember that you're not always entitled to everything. It doesn't matter how hard you worked or how much taxes you paid. You're not. That's just the way it is. Now, when certain conditions rise that will meet the conditions for that certain program or benefit you're looking for, then you could reapply. But anyway, getting back to my story. So I was really, really pissed off. And I was kind of seething on the train. And I write a lot of Google reviews on Google. I have 1.5 million people who reviewed my reviews. And I wrote a harsh review. Now, I didn't attack her personality or her character. I attacked her professionalism. And I didn't use her name. I did mention the agency. I didn't use her name out of respect and not wanting to get a lawsuit. But I made it very clear that this is not how you work with clients. By returning a phone call and talking to me on that Tuesday, it would have spared us both an appointment, me taking a long ride. I have a bad foot. And I was really angry about that. But I wasn't angry about the policy issue. So I was able to let that go. So what I'm trying to tell everybody is that ask your questions. Make sure they treat you with respect and kindness and dignity that you deserve. Make sure that you ask the right questions and also understand that if they cannot meet your needs due to policy issues and you did not meet the conditions, please also understand that staff do not create government budget. Staff do not have control over spending of the monies. They have a budget for emergency like sheets, towels, sometimes clothing, underwear, undergarments, things like that. But you have to meet the clinical condition for that. It's not like, oh, they need a pair of pants, let's get it for them. No, they will go through the rigors of questions about why is it that you don't have a pair of pants? What is it that you're spending your money on? And if you have a substance abuse problem and you're spending your money on drugs and alcohol, you're not going to get that TV. You're not going to get that clothing. Why? Because you're not in treatment, and many clients and people have sold their personal belongings because of their substance abuse. So you're not going to get it. That's if you have a substance abuse problem. But anyway, with that being said, I want to encourage everybody to please take advantage of the insurance phone plan. Once again, it bears repeating. If you have an unlocked phone, please contact Assurance. Your phone bill is $1 a month. You see this video that I'm recording? This is on my Assurance plan. Perfect quality, good HD. They're really, really, really good. I would not, they don't sponsor me. They don't give me any money or any encouragement to talk about them. I talk about things that really work, and this Assurance plan really is a game changer for those people who are looking to cut expenses. Why pay for $100 for a phone bill? Why pay $50 for a phone bill? Why pay $25 for a phone bill? Why not pay $1 a month for a phone bill? As long as you have an active EBT card that they can verify, then and an unlocked phone, then you're eligible for the program. Also, if you have an iPhone 14 and below, they will send you a SIM card. If you have an iPhone 14 and I think 15 and above or 14 and above, those new phones have eSIM. They no longer take SIM cards. What they will do is electronically send you an eSIM to your phone, and you click on it and it'll connect immediately to services. So it's great. I've had it for a year, and I have to tell you, my phone bill is $1 a month. $1 a month. So I encourage everyone just to take a look at it. There's no need to pay $25 a month, because that's over what, $250 a year. That's money you could put back in your pocket, money that you could spend on yourself to enjoy some of the funds that you've earned through Social Security and whatever. Anyway, listen, thanks for listening. I'm gonna walk home now. I've been out of commission for a couple of weeks with running and doing exercise because I have a bad foot. I have my foot flare up, and but I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna enjoy the day. I'm gonna do what I need to do and take it easy. And I wish you all the same. Get out there, enjoy the day, get out for a walk, get out for a run. If you haven't joined the gym, a lot of gyms have programs for senior citizens, baby boomers, and whoever you are, retired. And try to keep moving, be healthy, drink plenty of fluids, eat healthy, please. The best thing you could do as an aging adult is to eat healthy and drink plenty of fluids and follow up on your medical appointments. Anyway, this is Lucian. I'm signing out. I wish you all the best. I send you a lot of love. I have a lot of things I like to say and talk and share with you guys. And I hope that everything goes well for you, and take it easy. With much love. Thank you for listening. Enjoy. Bye.